Hi, good evening. My name is David, and we are back together again for the 11th episode of this current run of The Between. As ever, The Between is a game of Gothic monster hunters in Victorian London, taking on the various various problems of a supernatural and sometimes mundane nature that beset the city. This is a game by Jason Cordova. It's published by the Gauntlet, and this game is also arranged through the Gauntlet's online role-playing group. We all gather together through our little calendar to play games like this one and many others. We also have a number of podcasts, as well as an RPG magazine called Codex. You can find information about all of that stuff by checking out the website at gauntlet-rpg.com, and I'll put a link to that in the chat down below. So yeah, this is our 11th session. We're coming towards the end of our current run. So I will ask everyone to introduce themselves, their character, and sort of a little bit of what they got up to last time. Then we'll kind of have a quick recap and jump straight back into things. So yeah, David, if I can ask you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you're playing.
Yeah, sure, folks. I am David, he, him pronouns, and I am playing as Trixie, who is the American playbook. During our last session, I want to say that I finally got all of my conditions cleared with the help of John Fenworth's disgusting concoction with a certain derivation of the cocoa plant involved. And I want to say that we last left Trixie as they had just scrambled into this so-called fortune teller's upper room in an effort to do a little subterfuge, larceny, and investigation.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. And yeah, Sabine.
Yeah, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm playing Dr. John Fenworth, the he, him pronouns. And last time, I think it was last time that he talked the Sally No-Face killer into stopping that thing and trying to do to get the faces for a friend another way, because she just probably doesn't have the right electoral lights. And anyway, so that was sorted out, and now we are trying to figure out if this fortune teller medium person is for real. And John is firmly of the conviction that she cannot be really. There must be a scientific explanation.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And last but not least, Anders, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you'll be playing tonight.
Yeah, I'm Anders, he, him. I'm playing Ardent the vessel, also he, him. And last time he had an encounter with the person we're investigating, as well as the Thames, who reminded him that he is indebted to the river, and he is trying to figure out some way to settle that without murdering anyone, hopefully. So we'll see.
Brilliant, thank you very much. So yeah, where we were at last time, we had resolved the Sally No-Face killer, and we were dealing with our last regular threat, which is the case of the St. Petersburg Mirror. The St. Petersburg Mirror is there is a civil servant called Edwin Belmont who is being blackmailed, and he's suspected that a medium by the name of Madam Sorokin was behind this this particular blackmail, and evidence that Trixie found last time does definitely suggest that. So the purpose of this is to work out to what extent Madam Sorokin is engaged in this threat and how to sort of deal with it. So the questions you have available are: what trickery and deceit does Madam Sorokin deploy in order to dupe those who come to her parlour, which allows you to resolve the threat by exposing Madam Sorokin as a fraud? And that's a complexity 4 question. The second question is: who is truly behind the blackmail ring, and how are they using Madam Sorokin as a pawn in their game? And that will allow you to resolve the threat by dealing with the power behind Madam Sorokin. And that's also complexity 4. The third question, dealing with resolving the threat, is: how do you know that not only is Madam Sorokin a true psychic, but currently is only using a small portion of her potential, and given time, what could she achieve? And that is a complexity 6 question. And that will allow you to resolve the threat by some way bringing Madam Sorokin under control. There's one final question, which is the St. Petersburg Mirror genuine? And the St. Petersburg Mirror is this item, this mirror that is supposed to be a powerful scrying apparatus. If that is genuine, then it will be available as a reward if you're able to get your hands on it. So those are the questions that we have before us. We have a few clues already. A spectral manifestation whispering secrets, a bundle of pound notes in an unmarked envelope, and photographs of Belmont in a compromising pose with a young man. So where we left things off last time, Ardent and John were in Madame Sorokin's parlor, being she was performing a reading, and we kind of left partway through that last time. Meanwhile, Trixie had broken into Madame Sorokin's bedroom upstairs. She had managed to find the pictures of Belmont hidden away in her desk, and although had made some noise upon entering the room, and could hear someone coming towards the room to check out the disturbance. So that is kind of where we left things off last time. I'm going to start, I think, by coming back to Trixie first, just to see where things are going to go from there. So yeah, Trixie, as I said, you just sort of grabbed those pictures. You can hear footsteps coming towards the room you're in. So I've got the initial question here is: are you going to try and flee the room, or are you going to kind of stay here and brazen out whatever happens?
Let's go with flee for the first question.
Yeah, sure thing. So we'll the other thing, as I said, you've sort of found these pictures. If you wish to take them with you as you flee, you can. Though it will probably make it more obvious that you've been in here if they're gone. So you can, if you wish, try and like leave them behind and cover up the fact you've been here, or if you're happy, kind of with that being detected, you can, like I said, take them and run.
I'm inclined to take them and run.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So yeah, I'm not going to make you roll to try and make your exit. You can do so. You'll be able to sort of get out of the window. You probably can hear sort of the door opening behind you as you're kind of exiting through the window and sort of getting going wherever you choose to go. But yes, you do get out before being spotted. I'll ask you, where do you think your what's your plan now? Are you going to hang around or head off elsewhere?
My first inclination is to hang around because I don't think I informed Ardent and John that I might just cut and run in the middle of their meeting. So I think I'll at least hang around for maybe a half hour's time and see if they come out.
Sure thing. No worries. No worries. That's cool. We'll come back to that in a moment then. But yeah, back inside the parlor. I forget exactly where we had left off last time, but basically, the medium, Madam Sorokin, will have kind of done that, like, sort of initial showing off her skills. She's clearly picked up on some, like, personal details about the both of you, Ardent and John, whether through supernatural means or elsewise. But yeah, and I think she will say, "So you have come to me. I presume that you have questions you wish to put before me, yes?"
Yes, of course. Yes. I am indebted to someone, and I would like to know how I can make amends that will not be too arduous.
I see. Interesting. And I think with I'm just thinking whether to. Yeah, I think if you would like to make the information move with sensitivity for this one, please.
Sure. See if I can get the dice cam to work. Kind of. Oh. Okay. So that's 7 on the dice. So that should be a 10, I think.
Yeah, perfect. So I think she's going to say, yes, interesting. I can feel on you the heaviness of the debt that weighs on you. It is something significant, but more than that, it is and she will Yeah, and I think she will kind of her eyes will kind of glaze over a little, and she kind of shudders, and says, "The debt you owe." You have indebted yourself to something powerful, more powerful than you realize. The I can feel its presence throughout the city. It is dangerous. It is powerful. And then she kind of blinks and shakes her head and says, I can see you are contemplating something equally dangerous to pay this debt, but you should be careful. You know, you must be true to yourself as well as to this person you owe this debt to. It is a heavy burden that you have taken on, but I think you will be able to find a way through this. And the clue there is a seance reveals a dark secret. And I think with that, she will turn to you and say, "And you, Doctor, what brings you here? What answers do you seek from me?"
I'm sorry, I was muted. And I say, "Oh, my dear Madam Sorokin, I seek no answers from you. I was just accompanying my friend here because he asked me to see how very skilled and, how shall I say this, precocious your insights are. And I find that I've learned much." And I look at Ardent a little sideways.
Very good. I am glad that I have been able to show you something interesting, Doctor. But
Oh, come now, Dr. Fenworth. I'm sure you have questions you want answered as well.
Yes, I do. I absolutely do have questions I want answered as well, like how exactly does the heartbeat, and there comes a medical research question, but I am very certain that this is not the right venue for asking questions like this. I apologize, my dear, I did not mean to. be patronizing, but this is a question that actually interests me. And I will find the solution to, probably without supernatural help.
Of course.
If I am true to myself, I think. And I would like to gauge how she reacts to this whole thing, the whole scientist. And I'm being a bit patronizing and kind of like, yeah, you're be true to yourself, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you again, I think probably I think an information move with probably I'm going to say presence rather than reason in this case, because it's more about kind of needling her. But yeah, that's
well, it's still a 10.
10, perfect. And
I think, you know what? You know what? I will put on a Mask of the Future, the Darkened Threshold. I think just for giggles. Okay, so we get another mastermind clue.
Cool. And she will smile and say, I understand, of course. Doctor, you are a man of science. I have met skeptics before. I take no offense at it. There are those who do not believe in the power of the spirits, despite all evidence shown to them. And let me not let me not deny that there are many out there who do use their powers to defraud and con those who come seeking a contact with the spirit world. Of course, this happens. And she will she'll get up from the table and take out, sort of like I said, there's all kinds of knickknacks and curios on the wall, on the shelves and stuff around here, and she'll come back with a length of very light gauzy fabric, which she puts down on the table. This, Doctor, do you know what this is for? This fabric, with sufficient training, one can swallow and regurgitate from the throat, much like a knife thrower would do. A sword swallower would do. It has the effect, in the right lighting conditions, of looking like a spirit is emanating from the body of the spiritualist. I have had dealings, shall we say, with those who use such tricks in my time. And do I sometimes put on more of a show than is strictly necessary? Yes, I do. The truth is, Doctor, the communing with the spirits is often not so entertaining a show as people might think. And I do like to give people value for money. So yeah, that is the clue that she will give you. But I think what you will also see is yeah, I think as she's doing this, you will spot there is as she's sort of like got this down off the shelf, you'll spot there's actually a letter that has been left on the shelf, quite possibly something she was actually like looking through as you kind of arrived, and she's just sort of put away while she was dealing with it. You kind of get a glimpse of the letter, and while you can't read it in full, you will notice that the letter seems to be written in code. It certainly doesn't seem to be a recognizable language that it's written in, and you will notice that the letter is just stamped with like an embossed golden eagle, as a golden falcon on the letterhead.
And I will say thank you. That was charmingly educational. I had not thought of such a thing, but it is interesting to know what gauze can also be used for, other than the binding of wounds. And it's good to hear that you are such an honest soul.
I would not necessarily say that, Doctor. But I am a true medium.
Far be it from me to cast doubt on it without any proof that you are not.
And then she will turn to, well, she will kind of address both of you, but she will, but particularly she will turn towards Ardent. Say, but tell me, Mr. Casebury, have you heard of the St. Petersburg Mirror?
Yes, I believe I have heard of that object. Do you know some specifics about it?
I know a little, perhaps. And she will at this point sort of stand up from the table, and she'll kind of obviously like invite you to take a look. The mirror is, like I said, it's just sort of at the minute like hanging on the wall behind her at the table, and she'll say, this was made is not an ancient creation by any imagination. It was, they say, created with the using metal that was left from the appearance of the Andromedan meteor shower over the city of St. Petersburg some 30 years ago. But It is said it has both an uncanny affinity towards viewing the future or potential futures. There were also some talk of curses and the like following it. And yeah, as I said, the mirror has this kind of like weird, like iridescent quality to it. And it's a lot, the backing metal is a lot darker than generally in mirrors. So it's kind of gives everything viewed in it as sort of muted quality. But she will say, you may, if you wish, take a look into it, both of you, if you so choose.
Of course, gladly. And Ardent will get up and step towards the mirror, and I think he'll walk up quite close to it. Like I don't know, how is it like a full-length mirror, or how big is it?
No, it's probably kind of like a just a wall mirror sort of thing, kind of, I mean, saying the same size as a picture doesn't make much sense, but yeah, sort of a sort of more of a face mirror sort of thing. I mean, a big-ish one, but yeah, not like a full-length mirror or anything like that.
Yeah, like the sort of half figure. Yeah, he'll step up, probably about arm's length distance, not quite close enough that he could reach out and touch it, but almost. And he will gaze into it, but I don't think I'm using sensitivity at this point, because even though she seems to have a genuine gift, he's convinced of that after her previous answer. He's still kind of skeptical about the mirror. It seems like such an obvious prop. So I think he's trying to figure out more like, why is she using this, or what's the game here, more than actually trying to engage with it on a spiritual level.
I think John will follow you and say, well, in the interest of science, I will keep an open mind, and he will look at the mirror, clearly expecting a trick or trying to figure out where the trick is in this whole thing. But I would like to look at it. Can I say I would like to look at it with sensitivity in case John sees something odd? No, because he tries to keep an open mind. He looks for a trick, but you never know.
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm just going to double check. So yeah.
What move? Is there a move? Probably
no. Yeah, no. I was going to say you can. I think this will again be the information move, but yeah, you can make that with sensitivity.
Yeah. Let's see what I can glean here, or what that mirror can show me. Oh wow, I rolled a 5, so it's terrible. Great. Sorry, John.
So I think yeah, I think that you will look into the mirror, and it is, like I said, it is strange. It's not like very effective as a mirror. You can still just about make out your face in it there, but it looks pale and strange in the sort of the dark reflective surface. And as you are looking into it, just for a moment, you think that you can see Adam's face reflected back at you from the depths of the mirror. And I'd like you to take the condition haunted, please.
I think in response to this, John will kind of step back, go very pale, and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Caseberry. I remember. I had an appointment. I need to go. Pleased to meet you, Madam Sorokin." And he will just basically run off.
Excellent. Madam Sorokin will kind of look after John as he goes with a kind of half smile on her face as she turns back to Ardent and says, "Some people are very much affected by what they see in the mirror. I would be most intrigued to hear what you have to say, Mr. Caseberry. This is a most curious piece, and I am very grateful to Count Orlov for giving it to me. But yeah, as I think what you will find Ardent is even as you're kind of giving it a slightly more, even as you're giving it a kind of slightly more skeptical view over, I am going to ask you to make the information move as well, but you can this will be with sensitivity, and you can roll that with advantage.
Cool. Switch things around a bit faster this time, maybe. Sensitivity and advantage.
Yeah, that's right.
So 3 dice. That's a 1, but I also have a 5 and a 3, so that's 11.
11, cool. Yeah, so as you stare into the mirror, you can feel that tugging of something beyond the veil. It's quite a strong feeling, and you will, and as you're looking at the mirror, you will start to kind of see almost like a shifting in the surface of the mirror, and you will what you will see is you can see kind of streaks of fire almost seem to like race across the surface of the mirror, and you get the sense of moving very, very fast, and you get glimpses of a city viewed from far above. It's disconcerting and strange, and when you kind of blink and clear your eyes again, the surface of the mirror is perfectly still again, and it's difficult to tell if what you were seeing was truly there or perhaps just a vision that was invoked. But I will give you that clue, which is a glimpse into another time. And we will come back to you in a moment. Trixie, I think you've been outside outside the house when you will see Dr. Fenworth making his exit at looking a little startled. I assume still. What would you like to do?
I'll casually stroll over, keeping as low a profile as I can in the getup that I have on. Dr. Fenworth, you seem a bit pale in the face. Is everything
I seem to have fooled myself into seeing more than there was there. I don't know. Maybe there was something in the air. There was a strange perfume, I think. I don't know. I'm not usually given to such flights of fancy as I experienced in there, so I don't know. It was odd.
The smoke and mirrors have clearly gotten to you. Well, come along this way if Ardent maybe would like to join us. I know a tavern nearby where we might be able to calm our nerves down a bit.
That seems well, less than wise in a way, but more than wise in to others. So yes, please lead on, Miss Farley.
Of course. Is Ardent around by chance?
Oh, I see. Stayed behind. I think he was still trying to find out mystical, spiritual things. I cannot presume to understand how his mind works. I think he feels the same about mine.
Very well, then it'll just be the two of us. And rest assured, I have, in my own private investigations, collected some photographs that will snap you right out of whatever kind of reverie you are currently going through. Trust me.
My curiosity is piqued. Lead on, Miss Farley.
And I mean, at this point, are we just kind of going to head to this tavern, catch up on what we sort of respectively uncovered during our investigations, or is there anything that you want to do in particular, Fenworth, as long as we're together, or as long as we have a little bit more time left in the day?
Huh. We're in the day phase? We're in the day phase. Huh. I forget. I did get a body part, didn't I? Yes, I did. Pretty sure I did.
I believe so.
Oh, I also took I think I took the resurrectionists. Right. These guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they brought me something. Yeah, I remember. Okay, so no, I think I'm good. I'm trying to collect myself a little after this odd experience that I had. I feel that I need to talk to Mr. Casebury about it, because he seems to know such stuff. Huh. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how many vulnerable moves we did last time. I don't want to overload the day. Or maybe I just talk to Miss Farley since she's here. This is not your advice, right? It's neither is it not. I mean, we could do a vulnerable move while at the gambling table.
Well, I was planning on, as long as I have some time left in the day, if that works for you, Dave, but I was going to take another crack at my Cruel as the Harlot's Curse move and see if it doesn't screw me over this time.
Yeah, sure thing.
But above and beyond that, there's nothing that I can think that I really necessarily need to do. I think that at some point during our meeting, I'll show, if it's okay with you, John, I'll show you the photographs that I became privy to. And I mean, just ask if you recognize anyone in them, and otherwise just make sure that you're up to speed with what we found and what Madam Sorokin may be up to.
I feel that I do not recognize anyone in these photographs.
Yeah. Again, you may have seen Edwin Belmont around, but it certainly looks like him from from what you know of him. The other man you don't recognize. But yeah,
I should think not. No.
But yeah, we'll come back to you, Ardent. So, as you are staring into the mirror, as I said, you can still sort of feel that pull towards it. And this is explicitly because you have the cosmic passage marked. In order to tear yourself away from the mirror, I will need you to make the night move here. This will probably be with composure, I think.
Sounds good.
Yes. So if you what are you afraid will happen if you are unable to pull yourself away from this mirror?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is that he will step forward and actually fall into the mirror. That it will be, it won't be a mirror. It will be some sort of portal or opening to somewhere else.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's worse than that. Is that not only will you be drawn into the void beyond the mirror, but a mirrored version of you will emerge from the mirror to take your place.
Nice.
Oh, I want to fail. Yeah, cool. See. I can do this. Okay, so 2 dice, that's 5 and 2, so 7, and my composure is 0, I think.
Yep. Yeah, on the 7 to 9, you will be able to you like I said, you can feel like that sense of being drawn towards the mirror, and you can feel something like, yes, you like I said, almost like lurking behind it, but you do manage to pull yourself back from the brink, and you can I think take the condition strange reflections. And yeah, as you do, as you kind of step back from the mirror, the Madam Sorokin will say, "It is strangely compelling, is it not, Mr. Casebury?"
Oh, yes, it certainly is. And he will look, I think he'll kind of turn the wrong way at first, as he's trying to turn towards her, but he'll turn the wrong way. before catching himself and correcting. And he'll look around the room. He's very confused. It feels like everything is mirrored. Like he takes a step towards the door, but he's going the other way. That sort of thing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. So I think yeah, she will kind of not make any attempt to stop you. In fact, she will say that she has that she has to get ready for a séance that she's holding that evening for Lady Cadwallader, but she will bid you on your way as you kind of make your way out of the house.
Of course, thank you kindly for your hospitality and generosity in sharing your insights, and then he'll sort of drift off as he's trying to maneuver himself out the door without bumping into something.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool. So we're just coming up on 1/2 now. So if we take a quick break, if say come back at 35 past, and then we will pick up with where people want to go next. Cool. Yeah. So I will just quickly go around and see if there is anything else anyone wants to get up to during the day phase today. I know Trixie, you were saying you were interested in taking another crack at the Cruel's Harlot's Curse, but does anyone else have anything they want to get up to during the day?
Yeah, I think Ardent wants to try to perform a ritual of some kind, try to figure out a way to resolve this thing with the Thames. I think he's going to turn to his magical arts to try to find a solution.
Sure thing. Yeah, that sounds good. And how about Dr. Fenworth?
Yeah, you know what? I think just to calm my mind, and drinking with Trixie is nice, but talking to Madam Sorokin reminded me of the fact that I actually like to do research and stuff like that. So maybe I will just and this is probably just color, just go somewhere, and probably the mortuary, because it's easy to find a body, and just look at people and how they're put together, because that's interesting, right?
Sure thing. That sounds good.
Also, I kind of need to take my mind off that stuff with the mirror and things. That was, I don't know what came over me. That was not real. Of course not.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Cool. So yeah, I will come around to you first, Trixie. Where do you think you wind up looking for a card game?
I wonder if there might be, and I don't know my history here, but I wonder if there might be a district or a part of London in which you might see a higher kind of percentage of a gay population. I'm kind of quietly looking for the other guy in those photographs.
Yeah, sure thing. So in general, the West End has a slightly higher percentage of like what would kind of probably be referred to now as sort of gay bars, if not quite in the language at the time. But you'll be able to program. And this is probably somewhere you are familiar with. There is a one of the places you do know. You would perhaps stick out there a bit because it is much more is more popular with men, but there's a pub called the Four Magpies that's in the West End. You could head there. Certainly is one sort of avenue open to you, or just somewhere in general. But yeah, that's a place you'll know is. And I think as you kind of get there, it's not like as you arrive, it's not like super busy because it's still kind of like late afternoon, maybe sort of get starting to get towards the evening, but not quite there yet. But some of the clientele here, it's much more popular with like the working class men here, and it is essentially just a kind of a regular pub for all intents and purposes, except that its clientele is mostly, as I said, working class gay men. The owner is a butch woman in her sort of 40s, 50s maybe, who dresses like in very mannish clothing, has like a waistcoat on and haircut quite short. And as you come in, she'll say, "What's your love? Are you lost?"
No, as a matter of fact, this is exactly the place I was looking for. Don't suppose you might have an extra spot open one of your card tables, would you?
Yeah, and she'll grin and say, "For you, darling, I'm sure we'll find one." And she'll kind of call out to one of the tables where people are playing cards and say, "Hey, do you have room for one more?" And they'll kind of beckon you over, and she'll call after you. What are you drinking, love?
Just whiskey. Neat.
She'll say, "A girl after my own heart," and she'll pour you a fairly generous measure and slide it over the counter towards you.
And depending on how this roll goes, I was thinking even perhaps of in a semi-censored way, seeing if anybody recognized the man in the photo. Now, I would have to present it in such a way that I was kind of covering up Belmont's face with my thumb or something like that. I don't want to reveal his identity. But if I can maybe pull a clue off of this roll, I mean, I might like to see if I can detect that. And I'm switching into kind of out of character questions for Ardent and John, you feel that we could use an additional clue. I know we were up to maybe 6 or so, but okay. I just don't want to overdo it on the clues if we feel like we're getting ready to start making some answers.
Yeah, no worries. But no, that's cool. And in fact, that you will get without any trouble anyway. One of the people at the table will say, "Oh yeah, I know. That's Hitchman, James Hitchman. Comes in here some evenings. Works in some shop up Bond Street."
Works on a shop on Bond Street.
yeah, hat shop, I think. Something, you know, fairly highbrow.
And that was on Bond Street.
Yep, yeah.
Got it. That's good to know. I might have to follow up on that, but first I've got some money to make.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you would like to make your roll, that is I always forget this one. It is vitality, isn't it? I think.
Vitality.
Yeah,
There it is. So we'll be rolling this at a +2, and I checked my personal quarters. I think I'm out of things to gamble with. So we'll just have to roll this with the +2, I think. See how it goes. There we go. That's a 12. We're lucky today.
Perfect. So on a 12 plus, yeah, you get to choose 2 from the list, and you will also get to ask another hunter to tell you what memento you take from this card game.
Oh, that's fascinating. I've never gotten a 12 plus on this move before. I didn't know that was a thing. So for the 2 that I'm choosing for the 10 plus, I think we'll just I was going to take the clue regarding Hitchman. Does that I mean, you already kind of mentioned it, but can we just like mechanically make that a clue that we can then follow up on?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, so we have the identity of the man in the photographs and where he works. So we'll call that the clue. I'll take resistance on my next quickening roll. And I think it's best if I do draw some unwanted attention. I think that anyone who, I'll put it this way, a girl looking like me walking into a place like this with photos that look like that is going to draw some attention, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. But by all means. Yeah, so you can ask one of the other hunters to detail a memento that you get.
Ardent, I haven't spoken with you in a while. If you have anything that comes to mind, do you have any ideas for a memento I might take from the establishment that I am patronizing? I'm not sure. Did my audio go through okay?
Sorry,
I
I
heard you.
completely missed that.
Oh no, that's okay. Ardent, did you did you catch me there a moment ago?
No, I heard it, but I didn't hear it. The
Oh
audio,
no, that's perfectly
audio
okay.
came through,
No
but
worries.
I'm a bit spaced out. Sorry.
No, not at all. I just said if you would like to come up with a memento for what I take from the this establishment that I'm a patron of.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
If you'd like to take dibs on that, you might, but no expectation that you do.
No. I think as you're leaving, someone, one of the other patrons, like brushes up against you, not quite bumps into you, but brushes up against you and hands you something. Something like a feather. This is I may be a bit spaced out still, but something that would be like probably to be intriguing, make you come back. Maybe they're interested in some way. Does that make sense? Or
Yeah, what did you say the item was specifically?
like a bird's feather of some kind, like maybe taken from
okay.
a hat or that sort of thing.
Oh, okay, got it. So taken from like a fascinator or something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of bird it might be here. I'm actually gonna scroll up and see. It could be maybe a falcon's feather, because that kind of
Yeah.
ties into the mastermind.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll take a falcon feather.
Yeah, awesome. And I think as well, just as you're leaving Trixie, as you're going by an alley, sort of the like the alley down the side of the pub, you will feel a hand on your shoulder, quite a strong grip, and
Did I
Can't
just lose
hear
the
you.
audio? Or
I can't hear you, David. I'm pretty sure.
oh,
Yeah,
Says the same
sorry,
thing.
I'd managed to hit the mute button on my microphone
Oh,
somehow.
there it goes.
Cool. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So yeah, Trixie, as you are walking out of the pub, you will feel there's like just a little alleyway leading up the side of it. You will feel a hand on your shoulder, quite a strong grip, and someone will attempt to tug you into the alleyway.
Well, that won't do. I think that my initial instinct is to spin around, leading with my elbow, and see if I can't knock into the jaw of whoever might be pulling me.
Yeah, sure thing. If you would like to roll with this will be the day move. So if you would like to roll with vitality, but if you'd like to tell me what you're afraid will happen here.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm afraid of losing my life necessarily, but perhaps being I think yes. I think I'm afraid of both getting a bit roughed up, but perhaps even more importantly, maybe I'm afraid that the photographs I've been carrying around are going to find their way into the wrong hands. I'll get mugged and those get taken from me.
Sure thing. Yeah, but yeah, if you would like to make a roll with vitality.
Hey. Wow, that's another 12.
12, perfect.
It's all going to go to pieces when we hit the night phase. Don't worry.
Yeah, indeed. So I think yeah, you spin round, you catch your assailant in yeah, probably in the sort of side of the face with your elbow. I will let out a loud curse and say, "Oh, bloody Alpha, you've you know how to handle yourself, don't you?" And it's the landlady from the pub is stood there, you know, rubbing at the side of her face. She will. She's taken a step back now, but you do see in her in her sort of kind of like semi-concealed behind her back, those slightly less so now that she's been thrown off balance. She's holding what looks like a bayonet, essentially, from a rifle, a long blade. I wasn't going to I wasn't going to go straight to that, love, but look, I saw the pictures you were showing around in there. I don't know what mess Jimmy's got himself messed up in, but I don't take kindly to anyone trying to blackmail my patrons. Understood?
Who said anything about blackmail? Matter of fact, I'm trying to track down the person who took these photographs. Something tells me they're being used as blackmail.
Then apologies for getting the wrong end of the stick. Just you ain't exactly my normal sort of clientele, and you I like to take care of my lads. So if you're after whoever's behind this, then whoever's doing this blackmailing, then, well, you need anything else, you just come and ask, all right?
Of course I will. You seem the trustworthy type. But let me warn you, it's the normal looking people you got to watch out for.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me that twice. She'll grin, and I think what you will also get from this is you can add yeah, you've basically earned Polly O'Donnell's trust, who is this lady. Yeah, awesome. So Polly O'Donnell, that's it. Yep. Awesome. So Ardent, I'll check in with yourself. You were going to perform a ritual, I believe.
Yeah, I've been looking at the move, and I'm not sure if anything quite fits with what I'm trying to do. But I suppose either communicate with someone or something that you do not share language with, or banish a spirit or curse from the person, object, or place it inhabits. I figure it's somewhere around those things.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds good.
So let's see. And my offering here is still self-harm. So I think I'm doing this back at the house. And Ardent has quite carelessly cleared a large space in his room, pushed the desk aside, that sort of thing. And he's drawn up a ritual circle on the floor, and he's sitting cross-legged, naked, and he has, I think he's actually cut his chest, like in some sort of pattern, and now he's chanting something, trying to come into contact with the dark entities and get their aid in this with this predicament.
Sure thing, sure thing. Yeah, so if you would like to make a roll with sensitivity.
Yeah. Nope. There we go. Whoa. That's a 5 and a 6.
Perfect. So that will get you 12 plus. So on Sword and Smoke, on a 10 plus, the magic works without further cost, so you get to choose your effect. So we'll come back to that in a second. And on a 12 plus, you can, if you wish, unmark the cosmic passage if it is marked. If you do so, increase your reason by 2, but leave your sensitivity the same.
Yeah, but it also says ignore this result if your sensitivity is 3, which it is.
So it does. So it does.
I think I'm stuck with it.
Indeed. So, I feel like there's a slight mistake in how it's. I might have to check back in. I might take it because, from my understanding of it, if you take the cosmic passage, then your sensitivity will always be 3. I think so. That seems a bit strange, but anyway, we'll leave that play for now. It's no, but yeah, that's no worries. Yeah, so that is. I think the way this looks is as you cut yourself and the blood starts to flow, you can feel the presence of the dark entities around you. And I think that as the blood spills onto the floor, it starts to basically trace out the pattern of the Thames on the floor of your room, and as it kind of starts to spread out like the estuary of the Thames, there's a kind of hissing and bubbling as the blood sort of burns, and it leaves that marking and that outline of the Thames burnt into the floorboards of your room. But you you do feel that presence just at the back of your mind, a lot fainter than it has been before, just saying, thank you for your offering, little man. We may speak again one day. And you can clear the indebted to the Thames condition.
Yeah, that was fun, but I've had enough of it.
Excellent.
Cool.
And yeah, Dr. Fenworth, you were going to visit the morgue, I believe.
I had another idea, actually.
Oh, yeah, no, go for it.
Because I have to narrate a scene in which I destroy a professional rival, and I think maybe that happens. No, it won't happen at the morgue, but I will go there and I will do some research, actually, and then I will see a man working there, actually, not precisely as a mortician, actually. And I know that I remember that man. I remember him. He was it's a long story. Anyway, we were both students. We're both young. We're both foolish. He more than me. I thought at that time. We had We had a very intense rivalry, friendship, frenemyship, whatever you would call it. And then there was this moment, and this kind of brings back the memories of what Madam Sorokin, or whatever her name is, does. He tried to blackmail me with the relationship thing we had and some unwise choices we made after inebriating a large amount of liquor. And he tried to kind of blackmail me, and that was not a wise idea, because I don't take too kindly to people trying to blackmail me. And that means I had friends, right? The professors like me. Even if I say so myself, I am fairly intelligent, and and at that point, there comes this point when somebody feels like they're being ignored, and now they will reveal the thing they're blackmailing you with. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to reveal stuff, and I had laid my ground. I had laid out my work, and he stepped right into it, because I had told people what he was going to do. Only I would have told them that he was lying. And so he kind of dismantled himself quite efficiently in front of all these people, telling these weird stories, and I was standing there looking at him, half pitying him, half sneering at him. And then everyone turned his back on him, and he was like, that was it. That was the kind of humiliation you don't survive in the academic circles. When I see him, then comes back to me what I did back then, how arrogant I was, and where I'm now, trying to find another person who's being blackmailed. And that kind of makes me a bit angry at Madam Sorokin, right? Because what she's doing, whatever she is, medium, she has powers, I don't believe in them anyway, but whatever she's using, that it's not all right. And so my resolve will harden a bit to see her done with.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Thank you very much. So yeah, I think then, unless there was anything else you wanted to do while you're at the mortuary, I think we will roll towards our night phase. Towards our dusk phase first, obviously, but I guess the first things first is, I suppose, do we want to answer one or more questions from the St. Petersburg Mirror case or threat?
I feel we have a lot of clues for that. Also, do we want to have the mirror? Do we want to answer two of the questions?
Would it be reasonable to, let me click over to it on the character keeper here. Would it be reasonable to try to answer one question, and then if we succeed and have clues left over, then check in on the mirror?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah, sure thing. That sounds good. Cool. So I guess my first question is going to be, which of these questions do you think you want to try and answer?
I feel we might not have enough clues to answer the one with the sixth question, how do you know that, not the third question, and answer the mirror question. So it's one of the first two, maybe, unless somebody has an idea.
No, I think that's reasonable. The 6 is a lot harder than the 4. So between the two, I guess it really just depends on how much you guys like Madam Sorokin. If she would make a good villain, let's make it the first one, and if she is just a pawn or is herself the target of blackmail, then we can go with 2. But I
Yeah,
haven't
I
interacted
think
with her personally, so
I think the blackmail ring is more interesting, but unless it's leading back to the mastermind, it's maybe bringing in another thread that may complicate things too much. On the other hand, we don't really have any concrete clues, I feel.
I think it's a good idea. Maybe even tie that back to the mastermind, so we have something to do against him, because right now he's just a guy, right? He's just a guy with nice taste and maybe a Falcon cult or something, but we haven't really gleaned anything of that. But if we learn that he is the mastermind behind Madam Sorokin's blackmail ring, that might lead us to a confrontation, actually. And I think that's a good tie-in.
there is also the matter of the mastermind's servant, Alessandra Volpe Strega. I'm not going to pronounce that correctly, but if I recall correctly, she's something of a magician or a mystic herself, and so it would make sense that she might target a so-called fortune teller, because she is perhaps a more powerful wizard between the two of them, if Sorokin is in fact genuine at all. So I see that there's some overlap there. I think we could definitely play that as a link.
And also there was a letter with the Falcon crest thingy. What's it called?
Yeah, and I think it's kind of interesting to leave it ambiguous whether she has any powers or not, which that answer it doesn't say specifically one way or the other.
So we can argue about it a lot more.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's try to figure that out.
So if we're talking about the blackmail ring, then the bundle of pound notes definitely fits in with that. The photographs, the identity of the young man. The gauzy fabric could fit into that as something she would use to make people believe she's genuine, whether she is or not.
I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I have an idea about that, because she told us about that, right? She told us about the trick, and I think that maybe tells us that she isn't really into the whole thing, that she is looking for someone who is who's looking into beyond the obvious. Wants to be exposed even.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that.
That's 4.
And it's a complexity 4, so we should maybe have one more. But
I'd like to have at least one more.
Yeah, Seance reveals a dark secret. I mean,
yeah, I think that's the one that
because I mean, she told you about that. She didn't try to blackmail you. That also tells us that there is a blackmail, but she isn't the one doing it. Right?
Yeah. So do we leave the other 2 for
mirror?
For the mirror?
I mean, the glimpses of another time and place seems like to speak to the mirror, and the spectral manifestation whispering secrets. I don't know.
It could be here, or could be for the mirror. It's either way. It depends on what we think is more important. The mirror would be nice, but
yeah, it would be.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, if you get the if you do go ahead with this roll, that will be with it rolling with +1. And yeah, so feel free to do that if you wish. Like I said, if you do want to bring one of the others in to give you up to +2, that's cool. But +1 is good enough.
I feel that jinxed it. We need to tie in
know.
the other one. We need to tie in the other one. Because we can still gather some clues for the mirror, right? Later on.
Yep, that is fair.
So that's
So you put in the spectral manifestation then?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think yeah. Where did we get that clue? Spectral manifestation, whispering secrets. That was when you talked to the house, or?
I think that's when I talked to her, when I encountered her when I was out walking in the night.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
He told me about it, I believe.
Yeah, that also was just to tie you into this thing and see if you were actually even capable of helping her, like a test or something.
Yeah. Cool. So who wants to make the roll?
You do. It's your magic mumbo jumbo thing. You have to roll this.
Okay. Switch things around again. That's bad. That's not good enough, I think.
Oh no.
That's a 6.
Oh no, damn it.
So we obviously have two options here. Either your answer to this will be incorrect. Obviously, all those clues will become available again, but something will happen. Or you can, if you all want to choose a mask of, if you all want to mark a mask, you can upgrade that to a 7 to 9. There is a mask available for this threat that one of you can mark to do so. That is the Mask of the Mirror. But
yes,
yeah, I'm fine with masking at this point.
Let's go.
I have plenty of masks, so I can do that.
Do you want to take the Mask of the Mirror, David, or should I?
Well, it is apparently tradition that I take it, but I don't know that it really matters. Well, let me just see how many masks we each kind of respectively have here.
2, 3. We have the same number because I have marked one more of future and you have marked one more of the past.
Yeah, we're tied up. I don't know that it makes a difference.
But I actually don't want to mark the moss covered gate for now, because that is a bit of a game ender for me, as well as the blood soaked portal.
Right. You could take Cosmic Passage and up your sensitivity by 1 if you chose to.
Yeah, would almost make sense, right? Okay, then I'd have two more masks that I can mark, and you have 4. Okay.
Well, and you've got your 2 masks of the past as well.
Yeah, that's the 2 I can mark. If I mark the Cosmic Passage.
You're right. Well, in that case, maybe it's best if you take the. You're right. In that case, it might be best if you take the threat mask and all. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
I would like that, because I feel that, as I said, the moss covered gate for me is a bit like, okay, if I've done this, my purpose as a mother is pretty much ended. And if I roll badly, which I will right now. So
yeah, quite right. I'll go ahead and mark a mask then. And you can take the threat one.
Yeah, I'll just mark a mask of the past, since I have plenty of those.
Awesome. So I will give you all the prompt for the Mask of the Mirror now. which is each hunter narrates a memory of someone close to them who died. What message did they never get a chance to give them before their passing? And that obviously we don't have to answer that straight away. I can call back on that one in either dusk or dawn as appropriate. But speaking of, we will move into the dusk phase. Right, so that was in the wrong tab. Yes. So, firstly, we resolve any playbook moves or custom moves that are resolved during the dusk phase. So this will be obviously the quickening for Trixie, but also I believe now, Dr. Fenworth, you get to kick off your resurrectionists. Which two choices do you think you're going to get the Harley White and the Resurrectionists to take into account for you?
I think I kind of like sending them out for body parts right now because I need more body parts, and I think I also don't want to face any blowback or complications from them robbing graves, basically, because right now I think that would be too distracting from the things we also want to do. I will at one point not choose this, but right now that seems appropriate.
Sure thing. No, that's great. Thank you very much. And yeah, Trixie, if you would like to make your quickening roll and see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll give this with composure a +2, and the success tier is increased by 1 step. That is a 10 by default, so I guess it gets increased to a 12 plus.
Nice. So you will get the 10 plus result, which is, I think, that you make all rolls with vitality with advantage, and you will also get a clue in the morning from your enhanced senses.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, perfect. So the that is our dusk moves. We will also have our paint the scene question, which will be I think we'll go with the ballroom. Hargrave House once hosted a ball for a group of visitors from the Fey realm. Even today, there are subtle reminders of that night in this room. What are they? So, Trixie, I'll come to you first, if that's okay.
Certainly. And could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, certainly. Hargrave House once hosted a ball for a group of visitors from the Fey realm. Even today, there are subtle reminders of that night in this room. What are they? And that's in the ballroom, yeah.
Got it. Oh, that's fascinating. Subtle reminders of fairy influence. Can you come back to me on that?
Sure. Dr. Fenworth, how about you?
I think, yeah, there is a chair, and it looks like an ordinary chair, right? But that was where one of those fairies sat, And every time somebody sits on that chair, something happens, because fairies are tricksy. No, they're not like the character, but you know, and either you kind of the chair will wobble oddly, or you put your hand on the armrest and suddenly you can't get it off. It's kind of sticky and there's something. And then sometimes even you sat in the chair and you nod it off and you're in a totally different place in the ballroom when you wake up. It's an odd chair, but nobody's ever thrown it out or really remarked upon it, but everybody kind of knows. Everybody has an experience with that chair. Looks very ordinary. So
awesome, thank you. And Ardent, how about you? What's another sign of that night that the Fae came to the ballroom?
Whenever you open the window and the curtains flutter in the wind, there will be some flower petals dancing across the floor, as if they had blown in through the window. But it always happens, no matter the season, and yeah.
Nice, thank you very much. Yeah, and Trixie, back around to you if you're ready.
I was thinking maybe that the room always has the very faint scent of wet autumn leaves about it. No matter how you clean and scrub and disinfect and this and that, it's always got this kind of late autumn sort of smell to it, as if you're walking through a forest after the leaves have fallen and there's that kind of carpet of crunchy leaf underneath your feet.
Nice, thank you. We'll say here what the hunters will be doing during the upcoming night phase. So we've obviously kind of detailed like that we believe that this is Alessandra Volpe, who is behind the actual blackmailing that's going on with Madam Sorokin. But I guess my question will be how you plan to confront her or deal with Madam Sorokin or whatever else you want to get up to. I believe specifically, you know, if we're going by the book on this, the opportunity you get is to resolve the threat by dealing with the power behind Madam Sorokin. And you may be able to recruit Madam Sorokin if you so choose. But yeah, so I will start off with well, I guess does anyone have an idea of what they might want to get up to tonight anyway in the first instance?
I mean, this guy was blackmailed, right? That's how this whole thing started out. So maybe maybe we can interrupt some sort of exchange that he has with Madam Sorokin, and then after he's gone, find the person behind this.
Yeah. You do know that Madam Sorokin is supposed to be hosting a séance this evening at Lady Cadwallader's house. So that might be a place where that would make sense to do that, but or you know, if you have other thoughts, but yeah, that could work.
Yeah, let's invite ourselves to that séance.
That works for me.
Cool. Yeah, and how about yourself, Ardent? Does that sound like a plan, or is there something else you want to try and get up to this evening?
No, I think I can join in on that.
Awesome. That sounds good. with that, the last thing we for us to do is to resolve any Janus Mask prompts that are unresolved. If anyone has either a Mask of the Past or the Mirror Mask that they want to do now, we can do that now. If you want to wait till later, we can also wait, but I'll just go around in order again. Trixie, do you have any masks that you would like to resolve now?
I've got my final Mask of the Past, but I might wait till toward the end of the session on
Sure.
that one. I'm not entirely
No,
sure.
that's cool. That's cool. Dr. Fenworth, do you have a mask that you would like to resolve now?
I think I might resolve the mask of the mirror so we can spread these out a little.
Yeah.
And what I think happens is, I think this was when John was just starting the university, and you see him very young, standing at the entrance of the university, the medical school that he went to, and he looked hesitant, like he wasn't sure that he wanted to enter there, and he kind of, he stood there just like thinking about stuff, and then remembering the person who had died. It was his music teacher who had, who had interested in opera and other things, and that maybe told him that he should pursue that. And what John regrets now is that he never got to turn around and tell him that, he wanted to do that. But that is kind of the regret that you have, but maybe not really, but maybe you do. It's hard to say, because he likes medicine, but he also, there is this thing that he could have done but didn't.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And Ardent, do you have any masks that you would like to resolve now?
Yeah, I have my Mask of the Past. Narrate a flashback to your young adulthood that shows your first sexual encounter with a dark entity. So I think this was the family had just moved. He was still living with his parents, though he was of age. And he was, I think he was going down into the basement, and there was a passage there that looked just like the cave in his dreams. And he walked in there, and that's where he encountered the dark entities, just like he used to do in his dreams. But this time things got a little bit more intense than otherwise, and it was a reality rather than a dream. But then he couldn't always find that passage again. Sometimes it was there, and sometimes it wasn't. But he would hang around a lot down in the basement, trying to find it.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Cool. So we'll take another quick break, about 5 minutes, and then we will jump into our night phase. So yeah, see you all shortly.